Welcome back to the 80s Cinema Club. This week we shall be looking at The Thing from 1982, directed by John Carpenter. It stars the longest list I've ever read. Here it goes. Starring Kurt Russell as MacReady, Wilford Brimley as Dr. Blair, Keith David as Childs, Richard Masua as Clark, T.K. Carter as Knowles, David Clennon as Palmer, Richard Dysart as Dr. Copper, Charles Hallahan as Norris, Peter Maloney as Bennings, Donald Moffat as Gary, Joel Polis as Fuchs, and Thomas G. Waits as Windows. The plot is as follows. In remote Antarctica, a group of American research scientists are disturbed at their base camp by a helicopter shooting at a sled dog. When they take in the dog, it brutally attacks both human beings and canines in the camp, and they discover that the beast can assume the shape of its victims. A resourceful helicopter pilot leads the crew in a desperate, gory battle against the vicious creatures before it picks them all off, one by one.
Hope you really loved my 80 audio experience there with the theme tune of The Thing. It was probably really shit, but...
Yeah. The film had a budget of $15 million.
That's really high.
And...
Full for the time.
I guess for the film that it was, yeah.
Yeah.
It made $19.6 million.
Ooh, that's really close.
Not much.
Not much.
I
think it should have made more than that. Really?
You know, directed by the
film.
legendary John Carpenter, who'd only done Halloween like 3 years before this.
True.
It's like one of his first big films, I think.
Everyone just said, no, I can't make horror films.
No. He's made one of the best horror films, slasher film. One of the things to start off the slasher genre.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. He can't make a horror film. What are you on about?
The Thing.
1982.
Yep. We got the error. It's not the 2011 version because that is
No,
allegedly really shit. I've not watched
It's apparently a prequel as well.
I did see that, and I'm not sure how you can make a film where we know exactly how it's going to end.
I don't know. So I try. I'm sorry, I'm yawning. I'm not bored of this.
De-age Kurt Russell at the end of the 2011 film?
I haven't watched it. I want to watch it now though, just to.
I doubt they went through that with Jeffrey. It was probably like...
Well, it was a prequel, and that means that them events happened before.
Yeah, but like the Norwegians, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Very
so,
strange.
likes.
Yeah.
Reel someone's off here. The spaceship at the start looks really good. Like the very start when it's crashing into Earth.
Oh, right, yeah.
I thought that was decent special effects. You know,
It's pretty cool.
15 million budget.
Yeah.
The frozen dead guy in the chair when they go to the Norwegian
God, that was really
thing.
well done.
I think that sets the tone for the practical effects
Yeah,
they're going to be
definitely.
using. Because it is a practical effect because that's more or less going to be probably be a model, that one.
Yeah,
the rest of them in the film were actual, so we'll get onto that. But everything that happens in the film that's gruesome to do with The Thing look amazing.
They do. Like, genuinely really impressive.
It's like,
I know we talked about Ghostbusters looking pretty good, and an American Way of the practical effects also looking pretty good, but this is like...
nothing compared
what
to
the
this.
fuck? How did they do things that looked nowhere near
It's
as good as that?
So you find obviously you found the frozen corpse, and then they bring back the burnt, like slightly burnt
that one
corpse.
is foul,
Oh
isn't
my
it?
god! I was like, I didn't know what to expect going into the film because I never watched it.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen some pictures of like some really gruesome looking heads on like the promos for them.
God, yeah.
So I thought, oh, I wonder what this is going to be about. Didn't think he'd be doing an autopsy on this
No.
burning corpse looking thing.
It was genuinely like...
Because it was like, because it was when I'm pretty sure the thing was trying to take the form of someone, but
Yeah.
had been interrupted in between.
That's what I took from it too.
So you know, it had then it had then like melted, like how they do. So like he'd like melted, then the guy's face split in two.
Yeah.
And it's like I thought it was
that's
two
foul,
people
isn't
at
it?
once, but then realised it's like half the head because when they like
the mouth is
dissect him.
continuing between the two. Isn't
Yeah.
it? It's kind of like the first time they encountered the thing properly when it's transformed in the dog cage and it hasn't quite fully transformed. It's sort of a massive flesh because it's been interrupted. I guess.
And it's like starts spouting like these weird looking dog heads.
Oh god, yeah,
Yeah,
and that human eye in the side of it as well.
Yeah, the human eye because it's obviously like had loads of the
still
Norwegians and
had
stuff. But then the dog, the Norwegians. But then it's got the dog coming out of it, so it's a bit like it's like a green mold in the shape of a dog head.
He's got that dog in him.
It's it's just like a really like throw up
It's
film.
fucking foul. Imagine them recreating that with CGI now and how fucking gruesome that would look.
But I think it would look worse, to be honest.
I think it would look worse because it's...
As in, it would look worse. It would actually be
CGI.
bad.
Yeah.
Like,
I
don't think it would...
more scary.
Yeah. I think in doing it in practical effects, I mean, if you did it now with practical effects, it would look better because of the camera technology and it would look more realistic.
I think even just doing practical effects now, because the certain imperfection of it, the fact that it doesn't look completely
makes
real,
it more alien.
makes it more alien and kind of adds a different effect to it, which is really cool.
So continuing the practical effects, then, so I said the dog one, like eating the dogs and stuff. That's pretty good. Where is it? Oh, the defibrillator jump scare when the teeth.
They did that so well.
So but it's when you're least expecting it, because you don't actually know why he's collapsed.
No.
Because the rest of the other things we've seen is like they've kind of had like a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Or it's been because they've been caught, he just collapses. So when they try to defibrillate him, you think he's actually just had a heart attack, or he's been like hurt by one of them.
But no.
And then so he's doing the defibrillator and he's giving the chest bumps, and then his hands just fall through, get bitten off by this man's stomach. I shit myself. I was like, what? I was not expecting it at all.
Really creative as well. I hate how his fucking head shot up to the ceiling and then survived on a little crab body afterwards. The way the legs sprouted out from his disembodied head.
I think people call it the Spider Norris.
Oh, that's a good one actually.
Because that's the guy's name.
It looks like maybe like a crab.
Yeah,
which he gets like a little two eyes.
Because it's like it's the survival instincts that it just needs to become something to live. Oh,
very scary.
But that was definitely one of my favorite bits of effects in the film. And like one of the scariest moments is just when his hands just go into it. Hands get bitten
so
off,
sudden as well,
and
isn't it?
And then obviously he dies because he's
had
both his hands
been bitten off.
That's amazing.
And he's the doctor as well. It's not as if there's anyone there who's gonna, suit
the other like doctor/scientist they had is locked up in the outside shed
and isn't real.
Yeah, that's true.
Spoiler.
Oh.
To be fair, we kind of like forego spoiler warnings given these films are 40 years old now.
Yeah, and
it's kind of...
We kind of talk about them, we don't talk about them in a linear order.
No, we just talk.
So it's like we're jumping around through things here because it's like related to what we like. So, sticking with kills then. Windows being killed, which was when they're doing the blood testing scene.
Yeah.
And, who do you call it?
Palmer,
like, blows up pretty much with the thing. Because obviously his defense mechanisms kicked in, and he just swallows half of Windows and starts dragging him around the room, and he's like just
but like Windows' legs are still hanging out, but it's only kind of like his shoulders that have been bitten up.
Yeah, so but then it chucks him out, and his face is just blood.
Oh,
and it's like half digested.
Phlegm as well, isn't it? All over his face. And then when he starts after Palmer's been killed outside, Windows starts that weird sort of huffing, wheezing sound. And he gets burned, but there's almost like a little bit of a human like squeal.
I know,
because he can't. What I reckon is his lungs are probably full of whatever that phlegm shit is.
Yeah.
So you hear sort of like a little squeal as he's getting burned, but he can't actually.
Exactly.
It's grim.
It adds to the fucking gruesomeness.
The practical effects really sell the film.
I did not expect you to turn it into some massive worm thing.
No, that was weird as fuck.
Like who do you call it? Blair. Obviously, he turned. And he was picking them all off, and
one by one,
McCready was the last one left. And he's like, looking, he's like, guys, is anybody there?
Guys, anyone there?
And then like the floor just starts breaking up.
Yeah.
And massive worm thing comes out, and it's like, well, obviously, like we've got loads of different things all going on over it.
Kind of like an amalgam,
reminded me a bit of I watched Men in Black 2 last night.
Oh right.
And there's a worm in the subway system. In the very first scene, there's a massive alien worm.
I could see all of them seem very Men in Blackish, don't they?
Well, yeah, it's an alien.
A little bit less gruesome than the ones in Men in Black. That was a whole other level.
That came out a few years later.
Yeah, I really liked the deduction through the blood test. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and what did you say? You just read a comment on the music we played?
Right. Someone said so obviously we played the intro theme there at the start of the podcast in the comment section. Someone said it was the most suspenseful not TV scene. What am I? It's not
film scene.
TV club, film scene ever. And I mean, it's very suspenseful, but I don't have to say ever.
I know
but the way they did that, the obviously disbelief throughout the whole thing, suspending it, and the hot wire just going and fizzle.
Yeah,
it's not even
and
like
the one when he dips it in, it jumps up in the air.
No, it's like immediate. The second it goes near, it flies out.
And
the fact that because now you probably get like a perspective change to the blood as it jumped. the fact the perspective of the camera stays the same as it leaps out, it's like, whoa, fuck, that really kind of.
You're like, you don't know what's going on. Like, you're scared by it.
And see, I thought, because obviously at the start you've got the silhouette of the head and it's not made apparent as to who's who. I only found that out after watching it, because I thought that was Palmer at the start.
Yeah.
So the whole time through I watched it, I was like, no, Palmer's been taken over. So when it came up, I was like, all right, yeah, fair. But then looking back there, I was like, oh shit.
Which one's that? The shadow of the guy's head when
shadow
the dog walks in the room.
That's not supposed to be anyone.
Well, that was a different guy.
Yeah.
So the person
that leads on to one of my questions later.
It's meant to be. He cast someone different, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really scared now because that's one of my questions.
Well, if you,
I did just knock over a microphone there. Apologies.
Yeah. So other things the score. See, we said some people have been saying it's one of the worst scores.
Let me just double check this. I'm fairly sure.
But I think
the score got voted as the worst score.
It's probably because the main score of the film is 2 notes or 1 note. Even well, there's 1 note. It's just dun 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 dun.
It's that repeated, but I guess it's simple but effective, isn't it?
That's what I mean. I thought it really brings the film with the tension, because the entire point of the film is you don't trust anyone.
Yeah.
Nobody trusts each other, and the tension builds the more and more they learn about the alien. Mm-hmm. So, getting that music in the background is either sometimes an indicator of something's about to happen, or just like you're really worried about what's going to happen because you don't. It's like the dun dun. It's like a countdown that doesn't end.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, you get a ticking clock. So it's like usually counts down to something, or a stopwatch like beeping. It's like this is just, but it doesn't stop. It just constantly goes. Yeah. And you get a bit more music added in the background, but it doesn't you're still quite scared.
2 repeated notes that don't change and don't break up with that.
Yeah.
It's a constant oh fuck, something's gonna happen here.
I know.
I'm trying to find it here. It's something to do with a Razzies nomination. This article that I've brought up halfway through is about 3,000 words long, so I'm not going to read it. But there was, people didn't find the score very good. And I mean, in one way you can kind of get it, because if people do just get the dun-dun, then...
if you've gone to see the film...
For a $15 million film at the time, it's like, fair. But it works very effectively.
Because it's not a complex score.
No.
It is just the main score is dun-dun. All the time.
It's not a musical, so we're all right.
Well, yeah.
Imagine
the thing.
Imagine it as a musical. Oh god, they go into the dog kennel at the start, and the massive blob starts talking from 3 heads at once.
This is the thing. He's come to eat us. It's like
that's how at the start
and change everyone's shape.
All in Norwegian though, because it's a Norwegian science at the start. Going on to that. Obviously, we were talking for the podcast.
Please don't watch this film if you're Norwegian, or cover your ears at the start.
It kind of literally the guy at the start tells them all the dog is, it's not a dog.
The beginning of the film is 2 Norwegians trying to hunt down this dog for reasons we don't know, so it's a bit creepy. Like,
somehow missed the dog running through the flat Arctic with a fucking missile. They missed by like a country mile the thing.
And then they're shooting him with a sniper, don't hit him.
They don't hit him.
You'd think you'd be able to.
I think they're supposed to be scientists. But you would have thought.
Maybe a bit of training or
hopefully.
Something. But so basically when they get off the helicopter at the Antarctica base, he shouts something at them in Norwegian, and what he shouts in Norwegian is like along the lines of, "That is not a dog, that is an alien. It can shapeshift into it can shapeshift into you. Don't trust it. Get away, you idiots." So if you happen to speak Norwegian, just know that technically we've spoiled the entire film for you anyway.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
if you weren't to, that he literally explains the film in the first
kind
scene.
Of rough. But to be fair, it's kind of like you get spoiled on the whole. There's a specific word used for it, I can't remember. You get spoiled on the thing being the thing. Plot. But the rest of the film kind of is fine because it's that whole paranoia between.
Yeah, you don't know who is who, but you do. If you do know Norwegian, you find out.
Yeah, you find out the dog is not a dog at the start.
At the very start,
which then kind of kicks off the whole thing. I did see someone make an interesting point online that it's kind of like the thing isn't the thing. That's not the main threat. The thing is the paranoia between them.
Yeah, exactly, because the thing is only a defense mechanism for most of the time. If it's around other people, it doesn't do anything.
It generally doesn't know by the looks of it.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like because people sometimes think they don't know they're a thing because they're acting with their normal personality.
Yeah, that's the weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah, you do when you watch it, you think, oh, they do know they're a thing because the thing is them.
Yeah,
it's pretending to be them, but also they act exactly the same, so you don't know what to think.
Because it's all
you don't know
really
if they've
vague,
been infected, and then they don't know they've been infected.
Yeah,
it's really Yeah.
Is it just sort of like, because to me, obviously, the whole thing's very vague. I thought maybe it's like they don't notice the difference until that mechanism flicks, and then they're gone.
Yeah, then they're like, it turns off their part of knowing,
Yeah.
and they're just the thing. Then,
And obviously, the paranoia is a huge thing because you get the doctor. The doctor dies. He's obviously a real person, still suspected. Same with, is it Cliff?
Yeah, the dog handler
guy,
yeah. McCready shoots him in the face when he tries to come up and
But it's kept pretty obvious throughout the whole thing that he isn't one of them because he's holding the scalpel under his hand.
Yeah, exactly.
As if he's going to lunge for him. Why would the thing need to
I know,
kill him
that's
with
what
a
I
scalpel?
mean. I think that's what...
That's
why some people think McCready is a bit of a... He's a bit of a... You do like him, but you don't like him at the same time.
He's very unreliable.
Why would the thing who can attack you in a lot more gruesome ways...
Lunge at you with a scalpel.
Yeah, and the thing is only in defense of when it's about to be attacked. McCready technically wasn't doing anything.
Alone with someone else.
Yeah.
Because you see that with... I forget his name.
There's too many of them to remember.
The one who is near the one that picked up from the Norwegians and starts to get taken over as Windows leaves.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
B something. Obviously, he gets taken over when he's alone by the dying one, which could be that it was just looking for something new to regenerate itself.
Yeah, exactly.
But equally then...
That one doesn't finish, is it? Because that's the first person we see who's infected.
Yeah.
Because they don't finish the infection and he like dies and burns outside.
Yeah. They managed to kill him before they completely take him over.
Yeah. So other things about it, they're like the Antarctic setting.
Yeah.
Really adds to the feeling of it.
Oh, it does.
And it's obviously, I think it was shot in Alaska, so obviously it's not.
I think so. Maybe
it'd be very dangerous to shoot it in Antarctica, although Alaska is also very cold.
Yeah.
It's also, there's a lot more civilization around there.
Yeah, it was. Honestly.
No, so I think they shot it in Alaska, and obviously the part of that is they're trying to destroy the thing so it can't get to like a civilized area.
Yeah.
But also just the isolation feeling of that.
God, yeah, there is no one around
it is just them. If they don't figure some way out, then when spring comes, the thing is going to get out and it's going to,
it's going to go everywhere.
They have to do something.
So I did check. It is filmed in British Columbia, and two guys actually, maybe two or three of them, who were really big fans of the film, went out and actually looked at the general area and found remnants of the outpost they built for the film, along with the helicopter rotor blade from the actual helicopter, and took them home with them, which is really cool.
How long after that did it say when they did that?
I'll try and find it.
Because
thing
that must have been only a few years after it came out. Then, because you think
you wouldn't have thought it'd be that far behind
to go on an expedition to into a cold place like that to try and find something from a film set is pretty.
It's kind of mad, isn't it?
Pretty mad.
I will try and find this here.
But I think the main thing, one of the things I would liked most about the film, not just the tension, and then the way they kind of build every character in a certain way. So there is a lot of characters in this film, all men, which is like another message that people say to trying to put across. Because in the prequel or the new version in 2011, it adds women, and that's one of the first things I noticed about watching the film was, well, there's no women in this film.
No women at all in the film.
Not at all. There's nothing.
Well, aside from the
voice of the computer.
chess machine, chess program.
But apart from that, it's like, so there's all men cast, and there's quite a lot of them, as you heard from the list that I had to read out.
Is this leading on to something I'd read as well?
What was I gonna say? Oh no, so the ending.
Oh right, okay.
Is like
I thought I'd read somewhere that there was a scene with McCready and a female blow-up doll that had been removed, so I thought you were leading on to that.
No,
I was like, that's just really weird.
I'm just saying that they build the characters in such a good way that when it so obviously most of their personalities, kind of, because of little things they do.
Oh, yeah.
So when it comes to the end and they're all dead, except it's Childs and McCready. It's one of the best endings to a film, I think. I like, because it doesn't tell you.
No.
So there's loads of theories behind.
Yeah, I've read a few of these.
If both of them were the thing, if none of them were the thing, if one of them was. So, and then it obviously just cuts, and then it's when they're talking, it goes the dun dun. It's doing the dun dun again, just because, that might be like linking to the fact that one of them is the thing.
I personally don't think either of them were. I think they're both human at the end. Because I've looked through a lot of these theories. A lot were that Child's breath can't be seen in the last scene.
Yes.
That was debunked as just something that happened while filming by the director, as well as people were saying that obviously because they made loads of Molotov cocktails at the end, that bottle that McCready hands over to Childs is actually gasoline for the explosions, but obviously you can make a Molotov cocktail with whiskey still. And it was the fact that Charles didn't notice it possibly being gasoline. Again,
Well,
it's all speculation stuff.
The other one I saw about the drinking was that they'd all been told to make their own drink, like do their own food and stuff.
Meal
so
preps.
for Charles to accept it would be like he didn't know they'd made that
True,
rule.
yeah. Which, to be
So
fair,
he could be a thing.
I don't think they ever actually... Because you get... I forget his name as well. All the people who die really early, I forget the names of. The guy with the glasses who takes over after the other guy with the glasses goes insane.
Okay,
Sorry, I'm really bad at this. He's the only one who tells it to McCready, and McCready doesn't tell anyone else.
Yeah, I cannot remember.
The issue.
I wrote it down. I don't think that's in my dislike section. Yeah, I didn't write the name down of the guy. But why, if
Yeah, why'd he burn himself?
if he thinks the alien is still alive, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't he tell the person who's left alone in the room with the alien body?
Yeah.
So he literally went up to the room and went, McCready, I need Mac, I need to talk to you, man.
Yeah.
He takes him outside. I think the alien's still alive because I read it in Blair's journal.
Blair's.
And I'm like, so why don't you tell the entire group? Because there's a dead, rotting corpse of an alien.
It's not as if letting them all know would have been an issue.
Letting them all know would be better because then, because they don't know what it does possibly
Fuchs,
yet.
that was it.
What?
Fuchs.
Fuchs.
F-U-C-H-S, I think. Fuchs? Fuchs.
Yeah,
sorry,
Fuchs. So the ending, you don't know who it is, and I think that's really good because it could still be there.
Yeah,
and the problem with that was McCready, he doesn't, well, to the best of our knowledge, it's most likely he isn't one.
Yeah.
And more likely that Child's is.
It's more likely
one of
for
them
Child's
is.
to be one, realistically. Because he does disappear for that.
But the thing is, like they said, if they don't kill it, all of it, it can just wait out. And because who do you call it? McCready's going to die if he's not the thing.
Yeah.
The thing,
Both
the body will die,
I
but the infection won't.
No.
So when they find him, he'll be able to infect someone else.
Exactly. So it's the whole thing of that. Realistically, they accept it in the end is that they're not going to get out there alive. Their only way, realistically, is to sort of be like martyrs and keep it there.
Yeah, and keep it there.
But again, it's like, I don't know why they did this. McCready made a whole tape at the start detailing what it was, and then just blew up the entire camp with that tape, which someone will find this. But like, again, it's just the only thing that I guess that's still part of the threat of the film, that the thing isn't actually dead, that it will just be resurfaced again eventually, like the Norwegian scientist did. Which
I think moves on to the dislikes, though.
Yep.
Because none of them seem to react to half the stuff that goes on.
That is one of the big things for me. I get that there's, building of suspense, and it'd be pretty shit if the second that, what was his name? Bennings, I think it was. Second Bennings starts turning outside and the arms are stretching out. If they shot him, it'd be pretty anticlimactic. But at the same time, they're all just stood there in a circle going...
Well, yeah. But it's more like, to me, it's more the fact when they find, when McCready, and I think it's it's Doc, the one who does the defibrillator scene.
Yep.
They find the spaceship. There's absolutely massive spaceship under the ice.
It's huge.
They have no reaction to it.
They're just like, oh.
They just stood there like, oh, cool. If you saw, I know they're scientists, right? And they're trying to do they're doing Arctic experiments or whatever the fuck's going on over there. But it's like, oh, there's a spaceship there. We're the first people in the entire world to find alien life.
It's about 100,000 years old, but who cares?
Yeah,
it's all right.
It just, the only dislike was why did he only tell Mac about the alien still being alive?
Obviously, it's paranoia from the start, but again, I think that's one of the big things that causes the whole problem. If they were all very much, talking to each other from the start and were able to figure it out sooner.
Yeah,
probably everyone would have. Well, not everyone, but there would have been far less people killed.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. There's another thing. Did you hear the punch sound effect when?
Oh God,
when Dr. Blair got
that was
hit?
So bad.
So
it's that comic punch sound, isn't it?
I wouldn't say like I had any immersion in it. I didn't feel like I was like exactly there.
It
kind of broke a bit of the tension for me when they went over to Blair and I showed in there like a big hitting meat sound.
It's kind of like whenever you see the Wilhelm scream as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you hear that in the background of things. I don't get why they chose to use that really out of place punching.
It was one punch as well.
Yeah, it was one, and you couldn't even see the physical contact being made. So you could have just left it as it was.
Yeah,
it was a really weird choice.
One thing I couldn't decide whether I liked or I disliked was when it fades out,
right,
and fades back in.
Mm-hmm.
I really couldn't tell because I felt like it was going to like chapters of the thing when it was doing that.
Yeah.
More like I was genuinely thinking to myself when I was watching it, because I was watching. I was like, have I got like a TV version here? And this is where I like cut to adverts.
Yeah,
because I
true.
didn't. I got the point of it in like fading out and then fading back into like a different time that something's going on.
Yeah,
but I don't know. There's nothing really bad about it. I
No,
just thought
genuinely, it's.
I just thought it was a
good
bit
one.
weird. I genuinely like thought of
Yeah.
something. Is it like have I got the wrong version of something here?
Yeah,
And this is
true.
where it's supposed to cut to adverts, but it's like cut it out, obviously, which you know you do for
Yeah.
TV stuff.
Like, there's no glaringly bad parts of it. There's like, obviously, you can be kind of like, oh shit, there's certain things you should have done differently and so. But it is,
Yeah,
they are faced with a very real threat that they really can't do much about.
exactly.
Thanks to I forgot his name again. The doctor who decides to destroy
Dr.
everything
Blair.
because he
Dr.
goes
Blair.
so fucking paranoid.
Yeah, but people say they think he got infected before then, and that's the thing covering up his tracks.
Honestly, I could see that. Yeah,
Because obviously then Blair starts building a new
I reckon
spaceship.
Blair was probably the guy who got infected first because he was the one who was cutting all apart, wasn't he?
Yeah, but
He
then other
had
people,
so much exposure.
other people think that he got infected in the shed somehow
Right,
because
yeah,
there's a noose there,
True.
which means he would kill himself if he started getting
yeah.
infected.
but he didn't.
But he
The
didn't.
noose is still there at the end. It's not
So
even
yeah,
cut down, is
so
it?
it means he must have got infected after in the shed and not got to the noose in
I
time.
guess so. Yeah,
Or
it's
something
kind of
like
hard. It's also, I think, the fact that there's so many people in the cast
Yeah.
kind of works to the advantage and disadvantage, and it's really hard
Yeah.
to keep track of.
I also saw the general thing of when a film is predominantly male casted, or for this an entire male cast,
Yeah.
if someone went the hidden meanings of homosexuality in the
Oh,
thing.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, sorry, the homosexual relationships between a massive, amalgam of alien body parts and Kurt Russell.
Yeah,
Gotta love that.
all right. I quite liked Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell was quite good.
He was really good.
Everyone misses The Thing too. It's like a steamy love romance between Kurt Russell.
between Kurt Russell.
It's kind of like the amalgams chasing after me on Antarctica trying to confess its love, but Kurt Russell wants nothing to do with it.
Gets his flamethrower
Gets
out.
his flamethrower out. Burning love. That's what it is.
Burning love.
Yeah. The post is Kurt Russell aiming
That was
up
a
at
steamy relationship.
Oh, very steamy. Smoky, you could say. Smelling of burnt iron.
Small things as well is why didn't they lock the dog up straight away?
Yeah.
They have other sled dogs, so
That are
they've
locked
got
up.
another one there. Why not just put it in the cage?
I
Why
don't
did they
know.
have to let it roam
was
around like a
super
normal
weird.
dog? It wasn't, especially when this
But
dog
yeah.
was being shot at by Norwegians.
There was no-
You think you'd want to find out why they were shooting at it?
Because again, like you said, they're all a lot of them are scientists. I don't think all of them are. A few are like
Well,
McCready's
McCready's a helicopter pilot,
and I think Nails is a chef.
and Windows is the communications guy.
Yeah, so they're not all, but they are all fairly intelligent. So why didn't none of them think?
Yeah.
Bit weird. A military helicopter is shooting after this dog in the middle of Antarctica. Maybe something isn't quite right.
Yeah, it's like
no,
another
cute dog.
another picky thing which people seem to pull a lot of theories from, which I think could be true because with
Okay.
directors like John Carpenter, it is quite a lot of symbolism. But at the beginning, when he loses the game of chess and he puts it and he fries the circuits, so obviously that computer's broken.
Right,
So
yeah.
McCready loses the chess. People say that's like he's destroyed the chess because it cheated, so they blow up the base because the thing, is going to infect them all.
That's really weird.
So, because obviously he throws his whiskey in the circuits of the computer,
Yeah.
it destroys the computer basically. So it's a parallel to them destroying,
Right, yeah,
the,
destroying
base
the base to
because
get
they're
rid of it.
lost
Okay, that
technically.
makes sense.
But also, I just went. It's a bit of an extreme reaction considering you're going to be out here for what seems like months on years
Yeah.
more. So you've destroyed the game of chess.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird choice. It's again, it's really weird because the film outwardly, it's only like very nitpicky. Like, oh, this was a bit strange. This was really weird. But overall, I think it was pretty good. I'll be honest.
Ratings then, because I don't have
Pleasantly
any other
surprised.
outlying dislikes to do then.
So I honestly, from discussing this, I'm starting to reconsider my rating. Thinking it's a bit low because I'm not really one who's ever watched horror films because I've never been interested in it, and this has sort of been the first one I sat down and gone, oh, this is pretty cool. This.
I mean, I was saying to you, I went to just been in the lakes, and we were in some charity shops, and I've bought like 5 new horror films to watch.
None of them 80s though.
None of them 80s films. No,
Candyman
Candyman was the
here.
closest, I think. Unless I haven't checked what your Dead Ringers came out. I bought that one, but apparently it's really shit.
Oh,
So,
well, never mind then. We did Red's Titanic, so if it's 80s, can't get worse than that.
Yeah, I bought them films, and I like horror films, but I also don't like being scared, which I guess is the whole point of horror films.
Interesting contrast.
But I hate jump scares. I'm okay with gore.
Fair.
Like this
Yeah.
film with all the gore's fine,
Oh,
but as
God,
soon as
yeah.
his chest opened, I'm like, nah, bro.
Thankfully, I'm constantly like paying as much attention
Yeah.
as possible. So when it comes up, I'm like, oh shit, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think, again, my rating feels a little bit low. So I'm trying to think retrospectively now what I've rated things before to try and alter it.
Well, okay, I'll go first then.
Yeah, I can judge if mine's going to be way too high or not.
And because this film, I thought it is a good horror film, and then with the main villain really being the paranoia between them, and the relationships really make it for what it is. And then there's even there's a few shots that happen, and it's like real John Carpenter. There's a POV shot when it looks around one of the rooms.
That was
really
quite cool.
gave me a Halloween vibe. So I gave it an 8.5.
That makes me feel better about increasing my score.
I really liked it.
I did too.
Obviously not it wasn't the best film I've ever watched, like many people say.
No.
I've seen loads of people. I mean, it's because horror fans and John Carpenter
it's
fans.
definitely a
other
cult
things.
film, isn't it?
But I can see why people would say that, because it is really good.
It is,
and it does kind of set the standard for the because it's not it is kind of. It's psychological horror in the fact that you're thinking about it the entire time. Mm-hmm. You're trying to figure out this mystery. It's like a murder mystery you watch.
It's like Among Us.
Yeah.
See, I love I've made that reference because our entire audience, the main percentage is like 40 plus.
No.
But yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
It is very much like
a murder mystery,
you
but
do
with an
get
alien
that or shit moment because you know that they can't do shit about
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
Anyway, we're getting back into likes and dislikes here. So
Okay, so Alfie,
we
what
can
did
move on.
you rate it then?
So initially, it started off as a 7, then went to
that's not too
7.5, and now I'm thinking it's knocking at an 8 out of 10, I reckon.
An 8 out of 10. We'll
I'll
give
go
it an
for
8 out of 10 then.
which then I think this is now the
It's
highest.
an 8. No, it's an 8 if you rank it an 8.5, I think.
But you want to be
no,
an
8.2. Yeah.
So I think that might just beat Stand By Me. I think Stand
No,
By Me
because I
might
gave
have
Stand
been
By Me a 9, didn't I? So
I think I give it an 8, so maybe it is.
no, that'd be an 8.5.
We need to actually get the rankings.
Yeah, we'll get the
sorted
rankings
for
up,
us.
but no, that leaves The Thing from 1982 with a 8.2, and it is
great,
one of the highest films in it. It deserves it.
Yeah.
Questions.
Back to our normal program.
Yep. So Alfie, you go first then. I need to try and up my game this week. I will get none of these, but it's fine.
Well,
How entertaining do you think this is for people to just hear us not answer questions, right?
I mean, I kind of hope that they get a little bit of enjoyment learning some weird facts about the film.
That's true. I
And
guess that's
chemistry
the
is all
main
you can
fact.
do.
The
Yeah.
main fact.
Right then. So, obviously, in the exterior shots, it's ridiculously cold. But the actors, obviously, to make sure that
Oh, no.
that it fits, their breath has to constantly be shown, obviously, so you can see it.
Yeah.
To show that it's cold. I waffled. That was so unnecessary. So how did Kurt Russell make sure that his breath could be seen in these exterior shots? Did he drink a cup of warm cocoa before every shot?
Ooh.
Did he sit inside of the warm production van and just sort of warm everything up? Or did he puff a cigarette?
He puffed a cigarette.
He did puff a cigarette.
Yes. I'm looking at Kurt Russell. I'm thinking this.
I did want to not give options for that because I felt the second he said puffed a cigarette, it'd be way too obvious.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What a chad.
Yeah, lung cancer. Whoa.
Right. Okay. Question for you then, Alfie.
All right.
What brand of whiskey does McReady
JB.
drink? Fuck you.
Don't even need to. Because I was thinking writing that one.
What?
I was thinking writing that.
That was a good one as well.
Too bad.
No, I can't.
Have you got one on what the film was based on?
What?
Have you got the one on what the film was based on?
It was a book, wasn't it?
Yeah. All right. I was really hoping you wrote that one. Anyways, so obviously when the film released, it's pretty gory and quite gruesome.
Yeah.
Which country banned the film on release for being too gory?
No. Well, wait. So, out of all the countries in the
Out of
world,
all the countries in the world,
but considering you asked me
I am
the
kind of
question-
tempted to give you some options.
No, but considering you asked me the question because there's so many countries, I'm just going to say the United Kingdom.
It's Finland.
How the fuck was I supposed to get that?
I did consider giving options, but I thought it'd be more funny.
Oh, sorry, Alfie. The 100.
Finland is very
It was
strict
probably
on their,
released in over
film.
100 countries, if not over 50.
Well,
Like,
at least 49. Finland. Nah, not having it.
yeah. Okay, well. Right, one for one then. Right, your second question, Alfie.
Right.
What does Palmer say when he sees the Norris spider head?
Oh, it's there's an F-bomb in it, and I can't remember.
Mike, I'll give you kind of bit of leniency if you say something, but it's got to like have a certain.
It's I'd say, are you fucking serious or something like that? I could be wrong.
You know, I don't want to be nice, but you're on the long lines. It goes, you gotta be fucking kidding.
Oh right, yeah. Fair
but
enough.
you're saying serious. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the
not,
direct.
I was
quote,
not directly there, but yeah.
you know, I'll be nice. Even though you are
way more
many,
generous
many
I'm going to be with this last question. So obviously we talked about the silhouette not being an actual.
Oh, please don't ask me who he cast.
What was the name of the man who gave the silhouette to the first infected scientist? You do have options for this. I'm really proud of this. Dick Warlock, Mike Reiner, or Paul and Tesla?
What was the last one?
Paul and Tesla, P-O-L-A-N.
Sorry, say that again. Go on,
Dick Warlock, Mike Reiner, or Paul and Tesla?
B.
What, Mike Reiner?
Yeah.
It was Dick Warlock. There was an actual stuntman called Dick Warlock.
Why was this stuntman? Did he just say it? Oh,
it's fucking hilarious.
So I've got one, you've got two.
Like my favourite name I've ever heard, Dick Warlock.
It's like that. It's like that. If you're not from the UK, you might not get this, but you know the Chase with Bradley Walsh.
Yes.
It's like that skip that the question where it's like who was the famous German cartoon character? One was Fanny Schmeller.
Oh god, yeah.
And one was Dick Tingler.
Fucking great.
Okay, last question, Alfie. You better not get this.
Let's see.
Because that would make you 3 for 3.
Yeah.
How many hours would it take for the entire world to be infected if the thing reached a civilized area?
27,000. Harry has yet again walked off and left the podcasting table.
Goodbye.
He's quit. He's quit. So I mean, anyone who's wondering, that's 3.08 years because I'd looked at that beforehand. It's pretty cool to be fair. 3 years, I reckon they could have done something. Same length as a COVID pandemic. Except we all didn't turn into like grotesque monsters.
How?
Oh well. So anyone who's
I thought I was like, these little details. He won't have got to the name on a whiskey bottle. You know the time that it would take to go around the world.
My apologies.
And the exact words someone said.
Yeah, to be fair, it wasn't exactly the words, but
okay. Well,
you were too
Alfie got
generous
2
with it.
points.
Oh,
he
really?
Didn't get
2
the
points.
third one.
Okay.
No, I'm taking your point off you for kidding. You're not having that one. You got 2 points this week.
Okay. The score is still 25-17, so my lead is growing further and further.
By 1 point this week.
Let's hope that the next episode we have another great sweep.
Yeah, sure.
Hello and welcome. Nope, that's the wrong segment. Anyway, so this is the outro for the thing. We didn't talk about relevance.
Yeah.
So quick thing, there, like you mentioned in the discussion section, there is a sequel. It's we've not seen it.
Or a prequel, technically.
Yeah.
There's also one from the 1950s called The Thing from Another World.
Yes, I was really hoping you were going to ask.
It's the same.
The funny thing is, The Thing is based off The Thing from Another World, which is then based on another novel from 1938. Called Who Goes There?
Yeah,
which is quite cool.
So relevance because we missed it. Go watch it. Like, there's not.
Yeah,
it's a really good film.
Fucking cool.
If you don't like horror films,
watch it.
Still watch it.
Tell us how many times you were creeped out by it.
Yeah, you know, if you don't like gore, you want like some sections, but we encourage you to watch it. And thanks for watching then, because of the outro as well.
This is the outro.
Thank you for watching. This is episode 13. We have made it to episode 13. 13 weeks over.
13. This is my 13th reason. Nearly 4 months of this. That is mad.
Nearly 4 months of this.
Thanks as well. We're now 3% American listener base.
3% American listener base. Yeah, that's great.
You guys seem to be way more interactive than
quite close to 200 players as well.
We are,
Not too far
186 across them all. Fucking Top Gun.
So you need to keep up to date with us when we're releasing episodes, even though it's every Sunday.
We still not got an order for this.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
I love how we promote TikTok and there's 2 videos.
That's it. I think that's it. You can listen to us on Spotify, Good Pods, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I think that's it. There might be some other ones that Spotify podcasters.
Podbean.
Podbean.
We got a random listen on Podbean the other day. We're not actually sure what that platform is.
Please go listen to us. Please keep listening to this. We really appreciate you listening.
We do, yeah. Means a lot.
Like we've said before, please feel free.
We would really like it because nobody talks to us.
If you want to message us about any thoughts you've had on what we've said, please do. Even if it's shit talking us.
Yeah, tell us how The Thing was the best film, unequivocally, ever made.
Please share our posts with people. We want to get some more listeners.
Yeah. Anyone who you think would like film, anyone whose favourite films we've covered and completely trashed, we apologise.
Yeah, just please, Alfie's usually on Twitter and I'm usually on Instagram, so that's who you'll be talking to. I mean, I do see the Twitter
I would be
notifications,
so much funnier, so make sure to let us on Twitter.
Yeah, send us a tweet, send us a DM, whatever. Come talk to us. We'd love to know your suggestions.
Yeah.
We'd love to know your thoughts. And it's bye from me. Alfie, don't scream. If
I will
you
not
scream,
scream.
I'm cutting
I felt kind of bad. Final message before you go. Never let in a stray dog in a cold environment. You know, could be an alien. Goodbye.
Could be.
Take care.